Please, roll better.
The Sound of Music was a year in the making and won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for producer-director Robert Wise. Wise turned to directing after editing Citizen Kane for Orson Welles and has completed 39 films, including West Side Story and Star Trek. In 1964, he spent 11 weeks on location with his cast and crew in Austria and Germany. To commemorate the silver anniversary of this classic film, Robert Wise looks back at the making of The Sound of Music.
Well, Salzburg was chosen because that's where the story took place. It's a real-life story. There was a Ray Von Trapp, and there was the captain, there was the kids, and all. It was a real story, so it was obviously the thing to do to go back to the actual place and the setting of the story. We did take over the town quite a bit when we were there. We had, I don't know, we must have had 7 or 80 people there from all areas and in several different hotels, and we were a presence around Salzburg, if for no other reason having our playback going a lot. Yeah. We were shooting that section of Do Re Mi that took place on way up above the city. It's a place called Winkler's Terrace. And of course, when you're doing these things, the actors are singing to the playback that they pre-recorded 2 months ahead. And you always have the playback speaker very, very, very loud so that they have to sing back to it, sync to it, and start to sing over it. So here we are up on the terrace with this music blasting away. My wife was down doing some shopping down below at the city, and the people are all listening and hearing this music. What in the world is that? Where's that coming from? What's going on here? She said they were all astounded and dumbfounded about what this was. I had quite a good experience working with the children. They were a very good bunch. They got along wonderfully well together and didn't have any undue number of squabbles, and they were quite hard-working.
But the gentle voice and manner of producer-director Robert Wise somehow made everything we did come more alive. It seemed as though his patience had no end. Over and over and over again. And then, once more, please.
They got a little loose at one point in the shooting over in Austria, so I had to one day sit them down inside the house there and kind of lower the boom on them and told them that they had to really shape up and do better and pay more attention, or we were going to have some dire consequences. And I also talked to their parents to give a little arm twist to them, but I only had to do that once in the film. They were very good, very good bunch of kids.
2 songs that were not in the original Rodgers and Hammerstein Broadway score, Something Good and I Have Confidence, were written expressly for the film.
My screenwriter, Ernest Lehman, had an idea for a new number for Julie to sing on the way from the nunnery to the captain's house, called I Have Confidence in Me. So Saul Chaplin, who was my associate producer and handled all the musical end of the show, he and I went back to New York to meet with Richard Rodgers. And then when we told him about our idea, he liked that so much too. And Ernie Lehman, the screenwriter, had written some kind of mock lyrics just to get the idea over. And then Mr. Rodgers took those and did the music and rewrote the lyrics and put them in.
I have confidence in confidence alone.
We didn't have any undue problem with the boat scene, the kids falling in the water, except that little Kimmy, the young one, didn't swim. So, but she wasn't afraid to do it. None of the kids, they were rambunctious kids. They liked the whole idea, and Julie didn't have any problem with it. So I assigned, I think it was Heather. I said, Heather, when you go in, could you keep an eye on Kimmy and see that she's all right? And so it worked out all right. I mean, if you ever see the film, I think you'll see Heather bringing Kimmy in. The very opening, which often happens, the Sound of Music, the Song on the Hill, was the very last thing we shot on location. Not the first, as one imagine. And we just had a very bad stretch of weather there and had a dickens of a time getting that sequence done. I was supposed to do it in 2 or 3 days, and I took 6 or 7, I think, and I was down to the very end, and I had just one more piece to get. And I had a threat from the studio that if I didn't finish it by Friday, I had to bring the troupe home anyway. And I said I would. And we got a break Friday afternoon. Suddenly the clouds broke, and we had the camera and everything. We all rushed in like mad and got things going and whipped the lights on and got that last shot. When we were shooting that, of course, I couldn't be down in the field yet. I had to be someplace I felt where I could see how the helicopter was going and what was happening. So I was halfway up a tree on the side of the meadow in the forest over there, watching. I told the helicopter pilot to come as close as he could with the chopper and then veer off. And Julie knew that was going to happen, so I was at the side to try to see whether I thought he had gotten close enough. One of my strongest memories of that whole opening was Julie being driven up to the location on top of this hill, because it was kind of steep, in an ox cart, because it was rainy and muddy, and the Jeeps couldn't get up there, and she's sitting up in the front seat with a fur coat on. They're pulling her up there because the sun had broken out for a while. We thought maybe we'd get a shot.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go.
But it's a great satisfaction to know that on this 25th anniversary, Sound of Music still seems to be going strong. It's always rewarding, very rewarding, to have a film well received and get honors, and to be that successful as this one has been. But I think what pleases me the most about it is the fact that it seems to have a continuing life. It goes on and on and on, and I just hope it continues that way.